Hello, welcome to my live stream. My name is Mr. Peña. This channel is dedicated to teaching you English one step at a time. If you want to improve your English, feel free to subscribe below. Most importantly, if you want extra practice with your English, legitimate practice, I invite you to join my WhatsApp group. If you click on the link down below, you're going to join my Patreon, which is absolutely free. When you join the Patreon, you'll get the link to the WhatsApp. There, from the Patreon, you can get downloadable resources, exclusive content, and the invitation link for my free WhatsApp group. I hope to see you there. Now, I'm getting things started where we left off last time. We were doing our CASAS Test prep. We're going over the CASAS Test. We're going to be practicing. There it is. We're going to be practicing. Basically, this is like a little test study guide, if you will. We're reading level D of our CASAS exam, of our little study guide of the CASAS exam. You can get the study guide for free by joining the Patreon down below. So let's open it up here for the audience. I am now going to present, and we're going to begin shortly. You should be able to see it on the screen now. There you go. Awesome. I'm here. I'm going to begin in a couple of minutes while I click on some extra things. It won't be long. Yeah, there you go. Fade track in and out. Now I'm going to get the link, which should be posted below. If you or someone you know is learning English, go ahead and send them to this channel. We go live 4 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Mondays, Sundays, and Fridays, most of the times, are bonuses. So we do what we can, right? As you can see on the screen, there are 2 practice problems for that passage, and then there's 12, 13, and 14 for this editorial. But we're going to read this graphic, which is focused on water cleanup. So we're going to get started soon. I'm going to put this up here first to get the intro done and ready. If you stick with me after, you're going to be able to call in and practice some of your speaking. Hello, my name is Mr. Peña. Welcome to my tutoring channel, where I teach you the fundamentals of the English language one step at a time. Today we're going to be practicing and going over the CASAS test. We're going to be doing a study guide test practice, if you will. But before we begin, I want to offer you something for free. If you take a look at the screen, there's a link down below to join my Patreon. In my Patreon, when you join the free version, you're going to get access to exclusive content, which is an extra piece of content on a daily or weekly basis. But you'll also get downloadable resources, such as what you're seeing on the screen now, Mastering English Grammar in 10 Days. This is a 10-day English grammar guide for those who are new and just want to get a little taste of what English grammar, the fundamentals of English grammar. So exclusive content, downloadable resources, and you can join my WhatsApp group for free. When you click on the link in the Patreon, you will then be sent to collections, and you can get the link and you can join the WhatsApp group. There, we do daily voice calls. You get daily audio messages and text little mini messages, if you will. Text little lessons, little mini text lessons that teaches you the English. And there's a vibrant community of English language learners, all there to learn English together. I hope to see you in the community. Now let's get started on our test practice. This is like part 4 in the series, actually part 3 in the series. We're going to read what is called the city spending on water cleanup. This is a little graphic. And then we're going to answer questions number 10 through 11. It says, plastic waste in waterways harms wildlife, creates hazards for navigation, and may even threaten the health of humans. As a result, communities spend large sums of money to educate the public and to remove trash that might end up in the rivers and oceans. The charts below compare water cleanup budgets for 2 communities. We have Porter City, which has a budget of $24 million and a population of 6.8 million people. We also have Santa Bella, which has a budget of $9.5 million and a population of 2.1 million people. Now, I'm going to read the questions. Number 10. According to the 2 charts, Porter City and Santa Bella spend the largest percentage of their water cleanup budgets on street sweeping, beach cleanup, manual cleanup, or storm drain maintenance. It's a good question. They're talking about both. So Porter City and Santa Bella. And it says the largest percentage of their water cleanup budget. So which numbers is the largest percentage? It's actually going to be right here. Storm drain cleaning and maintenance, 50%. 50% is the largest number. And over here, the largest number in Porter City is storm drain cleaning and maintenance. It's the largest portion of their budget, which is right over here. So they spend the largest portion of their budget focused on storm drain maintenance. That's storm drain maintenance. This is the largest portion of their budget. Pretty straightforward. Now, number 11. What is a reason the cities are spending money on water cleanup? A, to satisfy community complaints. B, to increase visitors to the city. C, to reduce the use of plastics. Or D, to protect local wildlife. What is a reason the cities are spending money on water cleanup? Are they satisfying community complaints? It says plastic waste in waterways harms wildlife, creates hazards. As a result, communities spend large sums of money to educate the public and remove trash and all that, and so on and so forth. So they spend money on water cleanup because plastic waste harms wildlife. It creates hazards and may even threaten the health of humans. So, what is the reason that cities are spending money? It doesn't say anything about complaints, so I'm not going to include that. Also, to increase visitors to the city, it doesn't talk anything about visitors. Okay, so A and B are not even close to the answer. But we do have the last two options, which are to reduce the use of plastics and to protect local wildlife. What do you think the answer is? Go ahead and leave it down in the comments. Pause the video, try to answer it, and then check the answer when you play the video. Okay, we do see the word plastic, but we also see the word wildlife. So just our words are not going to help us. But it says they educate the public to remove trash that might end up in rivers and oceans. But the primary sentence, the first sentence says harms wildlife. Plastic waste in waterways harms wildlife. So the reason they're spending money is to protect wildlife. Pretty good. Now that we finished 10 and 11, we're going to get to the next set of questions. 12, 13, and 14. 12, 13, and 14. Okay, so here it says, here, okay, here we have an editorial from the Daily Press. So here we have an editorial and 3 questions, 12, 13, and 14. I want to make this look a little smaller so we can spread it out more on the screen. Okay, there it looks nicer. Here is an editorial from the Daily Press. Before we read, I want us to pay close attention to, that's a specific vocabulary word. Let's look at Jane. Jane supports her belief that older workers contribute to the problems. Okay, as we read, take a look and look for problems. Just focus on problems. And number 14, it says Jane could have provided more evidence for her position by highlighting the. Okay, so evidence for her position. Keep that in mind before we read the story, and then we're going to see what it's about. The Daily Press editorial. We asked readers to give us their comments about the difficulties faced in the workplace by younger and older workers. Here are 2 of the many letters we received. Dear editor, I believe those of us who are older workers face greater challenges than younger workers do, because they have something we do not have: time. Young people have a long working life ahead of them, time to build a career, time to save for retirement. I do not have that luxury. According to a study released last year, while economic downturns have an impact on all groups, they frequently have a greater impact on older workers because we have less time to recover. We have worked hard all our lives only to have our savings, investments, and the value of our homes reduced to the point that we have to keep working because we don't have sufficient savings to retire. Some of us who thought we would retire at age 62 will have to work until age 75 and perhaps beyond. Even if we want to keep working, some of us can't because with age comes health problems. And according to several research studies in well-known medical journals, even if we are capable of working, it is harder for us to find employment if we've been terminated. I will grant that younger workers have their own unique challenges, but for aging workers, the challenges are greater. Vincent M. Nieto. Now that's the left column. We're going to read the right column written by Jane Lombardo. So far, from Vincent M. Nieto, his main point is that older workers face greater challenges than younger workers. Now let's see what Jane says. I assume Jane is going to say the opposite. The younger workers have problems, but here goes. Dear editor, young people sometimes face the challenge of starting a career during an economic downturn. An exceedingly high number of 20-somethings are unemployed. Competition among the young is fierce for available jobs. The reason is that we are both the largest and most educated generation in history, and the supply of workers exceeds the demand. Older people make the situation even worse by continuing to occupy positions well beyond retirement age, taking jobs we could have. We are also losing jobs to technology or companies overseas. With all these forces working against us, it is tempting to offer the suggestion that we just have to work a bit harder to achieve the standard of living of our parents. Unfortunately, for many of us, starting from behind means we will never catch up. Jane Lombardo. So number 12 says, in the first paragraph of Vincent's letter, which word can best replace face without changing the meaning? Is it demonstrate, encounter, impose, or challenge? And so we're going to go to that sentence. Actually, the very first one that I have already highlighted. It says, I believe those of us who are older workers face greater challenges than younger workers do, because they have something we do not have: time. Okay. So let's just reread it with the new words. I believe those of us who are older workers demonstrate greater challenges. Older workers encounter greater challenges. Older workers impose greater challenges. Older workers challenge greater challenges. Okay, so we don't challenge greater challenges and we don't impose them, but we can demonstrate or encounter greater challenges. The answer is encounter greater challenges. That means the same thing as facing greater challenges. Encounter greater challenges. It means we're going to go through bigger problems. That's what it means. So number 12 is B. Now we're going to move on to number 13. The question says, Jane supports her belief that older workers contribute to the problems of younger workers by blaming older workers for a weakened economy, emphasizing that younger workers are overeducated, explaining that younger people need to work harder, criticizing older workers for staying on the job too long. So we're talking about Jane, which is the second column on the right side, and it says she supports her belief that older workers contribute to the problem, so it's mostly their fault. Does she blame workers for a weakened economy? Does she emphasize that younger workers are overeducated? What does that have to do with older workers? That doesn't really make sense. So I'm gonna take that out. Explaining that younger people need to work harder. That's blaming it on younger people. But it says she supports a belief that older workers contribute to the problems of younger workers. So these two are not good answers. Or does she criticize older workers for staying on the job too long? Okay, which one does Jane do? It says older people make the situation even worse by continuing to occupy positions well beyond retirement age, taking jobs we could have. Ooh, that's a direct, saying, okay, that's a direct criticism of older people. So that's the answer. It says for too long, they occupy positions well beyond retirement age, taking jobs of younger people. So that is how she supports her belief, by criticizing older workers for taking the job too long, for staying in their jobs much longer than they need to. All right, here it goes. Number 14. Jane could have provided more evidence for her position by highlighting the unemployment rate of young people, value of older people staying employed, usefulness of foreign competition, or the increasing demand for younger workers. Well then, we're looking for evidence. What constitutes evidence? Most of the time, the best pieces of evidence are data and statistics and facts. So, the value of older people staying unemployed, that is an opinion or a belief. The usefulness or the demand. You can talk about the usefulness of foreign competition, but it doesn't help you. That's not proof for, that's not evidence for her position that younger people, right? What is her position? It says that, first of all, Jane's position is right here. For many of us, starting from behind means we will never catch up. It says we just have to work a bit harder to achieve the standard of living of our parents. So her position is that younger people are suffering. So, how does she support that? How does she support the problem? Well, highlighting the unemployment rate of young people. So I would say that the answer is A. That's the problem. And then she can highlight the problem. She can prove that that's her problem by giving us the unemployment rate, which would be a statistic. Saying the unemployment rate for so-and-so is this and that. Very good. We'll be back later for our next couple of questions if you are in this live stream. Thank you for joining me on this video of our CASAS test practice. If you want to learn more, click on the link down below, join my WhatsApp group, get the free resources. I hope to see you soon. Good luck with your English and many blessings to you and your family. Hello, welcome to my English tutoring channel. My name is Mr. Pena. I'm an online English teacher. I'm here to help you master the language. If you want to learn more English, if you want help with your language skills, and you're looking for a teacher, I want to invite you to my WhatsApp group. If you join the Patreon using the link down below, you will get access to downloadable resources such as this grammar guide that you see on the screen. You'll get daily and weekly content for all of my patrons, the free tier. And you'll also get an invitation to my private WhatsApp group where we have daily audio calls, you'll get updates, little text quotes, messages, and audio exchanges. There's a community of English learners of people just like you practicing together their language skills in the group. I hope to see you in the community. Today, we're going to be going over our CASAS test. This is part 4 in the series. So we're doing number 15, 16, and 17. This is available in the Patreon. You can go to the Patreon, download the PDF, and then follow along as I read the story. It says, is the college to job path the best route to higher employment rates? Pro, by Luc Du Bois. How can job openings and unemployment statistics occur simultaneously? Why are the unemployed not able to land these available positions? The answer lies in a skills gap, resulting from an education system that does not train enough people to meet employers' needs. What is the best way to minimize this gap? By far, the most advantageous solution is to create a path from our educational institutions to companies in need of workers. Such partnerships anticipate the number of skilled workers a company will need and create educational curricula that fulfill this demand. One example is a well-known European car manufacturer that is operating in the United States and forming a partnership with a community college. The company provided input on the tools to train students in using the machinery at their manufacturing plant and contributed to the content of the coursework. This mutual arrangement gives the company skilled workers and provides the college with increased job placement rates to attract new students. Hence, the college to job path benefits the country as a whole by increasing the number of educated members of society. A win-win situation for all indeed. Now we're going to read the con. We have just read the pro by Luc Du Bois, and now we're going to read the con by Nadine and G. It says, college is not an automatic fit for everyone. In fact, in recent years, the number of college students who actually complete their degree has been only slightly above the 50% range. The remedial classes that many students end up enrolling in can prolong the time needed to complete degree requirements, making college seem too time-consuming to finish. In addition, In an attempt to develop well-rounded graduates, colleges often make it a mission to expose students to a wide curriculum, which results in a lengthier path, leading to lower student graduation rates. In contrast, vocational training programs that do not burden students with additional college requirements are the most logical route to successful job training and placement. To avoid setting up students for failure, we must ensure they are qualified to complete training programs successfully by requiring entrance exam scores. Students who complete vocational programs receive a certificate of completion, showing they are ready to work in many industries. Society should focus on expanding the number of graduates from these programs, as their job placement results appear more promising. So number 15, what word could best replace the underlined word hence as used in the pro writer? So we're going to look at here, and it says the underlined word hence right there. Is it briefly, except, therefore, yet? It says hence the college to job path benefits the country as a whole. So let's read the sentence before, right over here. This mutual arrangement gives the company skilled workers and provides the college with increased job placement rates to attract new students. Hence, the college to path benefits the country as a whole. So they said their point, and then it's more like a therefore, college to job path benefits the country as a whole. So it's more like, because the college to job path does this, this, and this, hence this is the better option, or therefore this is the better option. So we're going to move on to now number 16. It says, Nadine and G's argument supports the claim that a college education is not for everyone by explaining that many students who start college never graduate. A college education limits students' career choices. A majority of students transfer to vocational courses. Colleges put too much emphasis on remedial classes. So what do we do here? They have an argument and it says, how does he support the claim, Nadine? College is not an automatic fit for everyone. That's the argument. That's not the answer. That's what he is saying. So, does he say many students who start college never graduate? Let's see. In recent years, the number of college students who actually complete their degree has been only slightly above the 50% range. So he's saying here, kids who actually finished college is about half. So he's actually saying right now that many students who start college never graduate. That is many. That's 50% of all college graduates. People who start college but don't finish it. That's rough. And so the answer is C. That's definitely the answer. Now we move on to 17. What would be the best alternative title for this article? Oh, okay. An alternative title. So the title here is the college to job path the best route to higher employment rates? And so what is he saying here? What is the best alternative? Why is college ultimately the best route to career success? How much education do effective workers really require? Is college or vocational training the ultimate answer? Are European companies transforming the labor market? What is she saying? They're both answering the question about the college to job path. What is the best way to handle this problem? And so we have, let's see, why is college ultimately the best route? It doesn't really say that. One says it's not always the best route. The other says that the college to job path helps people with their employment rate. That doesn't say anything about college being the ultimate career success. And so we have, how much education do effective workers really require? They don't talk about that much. So it's really, are European companies transforming the labor market? Well, they do talk about that, right? Over here. The European car manufacturer that is operating in the United States. But that's just one example. What is the best way to minimize this gap? By far, the most advantageous solution is to create a path from our educational institutions to companies in need of workers. And Nadine says, to avoid setting up students for failure, you must ensure they are qualified to complete training programs successful by requiring entrance exam scores for vocational programs. So, society should focus on expanding the number of graduates from these programs. Vocational programs. So it talks about college, it talks more about vocational programs. So the best option, I think, is C. Is college or vocational training the ultimate answer? Luc Dubuis talks more about college, Nadine talks more about vocational, and they outweigh the pros and the cons of the college to job path. Meaning, they talk about whether going to college is the best choice. And so these are our answers to these questions. Thank you for joining me. I hope that this lesson has helped you with your English. If you want to learn more and you want to practice with me, click on the link down below. Join my free WhatsApp group. You'll get daily updates. You'll be able to join our daily voice calls. You'll join a community of other English learners, and you can download free resources from the Patreon, such as this study guide that you see on your screen. Good luck with your English. Many blessings for you and your family. I wish you much prosperity. I meet all of your career goals. Take care and God bless. Goodbye.